Well, the Champions League draw has been held today, and guess what? We know which clubs in Europe are obviously going to be facing which clubs all over the elite leagues in Europe. And in particular, I'm going to start up with the Arsenal Champions League draw reaction, and I'm obviously going to be doing that. Then obviously come up with other teams here onto the Rokani Media Football. And good evening to everyone watching in through. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokan David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun. And let's obviously continue to see to it that we really see this channel hit 28,000 subscribers. And how does this happen? Lower right bottom corner it is. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto our YouTube channel in here for you. So Arsenal was represented well by one of their legends. Is he a legend really? Is he really a legend? I don't know. Arsenal fans, I stand to be corrected. Is Tia Walcott your legend? So that was Tia Walcott in there as Arsenal was really being drawn into the Champions League. And you know the format has totally gone ahead to change. And what is this format all about? The format is all about getting the top 8, you know. They play 8 games in the group stages, and you only play that team once. There is no home and away basis. So the top 8 obviously qualify for the next round, and they are not involved into this other phase that you can call the round of 32, you know. Then the next how many teams are those? The next 16 teams, you know, because they take 24, the next 16 teams go ahead to face one another as the draw is really held. And after that, they get 8 teams, and they obviously find themselves playing to the quarterfinal, semi-final, and so on and so forth. So that is Tia Walcott representing for the club of Arsenal, and that's how he obviously looked today. And Arsenal got to know its fate this season. And how were the pots lined up, and who really came in through for who at this so-called Champions League of 2025-2026. Now, the 4 pots for the 2025-2026 Champions League 36-team phase draw took place today. Arsenal was seeded in pot 2 and will face teams from each pot playing 1 match at home and away basis. Now, pot 1 had Paris Saint-Germain, that is PSG, Real Madrid, Man City, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Inter Milan, Chelsea, Borussia Dortmund, and Barcelona. That is it. That is pot 1. And it's all about the coefficients that you've gone ahead to obviously, the coefficients brought up by the points that you've gone ahead to score in the recent past of what we call the league, or in the Champions League performances that have always gone ahead obviously go on, you understand. So that's all about the pots. And pot 2 had Arsenal, Bayern Leverkusen, Atletico Madrid, Benfica, Atlanta, Villarreal, Juventus, Frankfurt, Club Brugge, you know. Then pot 3, Tottenham Hotspur, PSV, Ajax, Napoli, Sporting Lisbon, Olympiacos, Slavia Praha, Bodo Glimt, Marseille. And pot 4 had Copenhagen, Monaco, Galatasaray, Union SG, Qarabag, Athletic Club, Newcastle, Paphos, and Almaty. So that's how the 4 pots were really lined up, and Arsenal went ahead to know its fate in the nick of time after those pots were really put up. Now, Arsenal went ahead to know their fate in the following phase and mode, and these are the teams that Arsenal is going to be facing into the Champions League. And who are they? First game of Arsenal Bayern Munich at home, that is at the Emirates. Second game, Inter Milan away. And remember, even last year, Arsenal had to play Inter Milan away from home. And I think that's the only loss that Arsenal went ahead to get from the group stages. Atletico Madrid. Arsenal will host Atletico Madrid at home. Then Arsenal will play away at Club Brugge. Olympiacos. Arsenal will host Olympiacos at home. Then play away at Slavia Praha. Then Arsenal will host Karit Almaty at home. And then play away in Spain at Athletic Club. So there is a difference between Atletico Madrid and Athletic Club. And for Athletic Club, Arsenal has already gone ahead to play them in the Emirates Cup at the Emirates Stadium in there for you. So that is how everything has gone ahead to be lined up for the club of Arsenal. You now know your fate in the Champions League, and it's all set for you to see to it that you obviously go through or really complete into the next 16 teams. But I 100% believe that Arsenal will obviously be among the top 8 teams because of their squad and how they've gone ahead to be drawn. And when you look at the game where they're going to be playing against Bayern Munich at home, I think that's a win for the club of Arsenal. Bayern Munich has not gone ahead to obviously retain its stability, and they're really trying to build their squad to see to it that it really comes or lives up to the expectations of the name Bayern Munich and their pedigrees into the Champions League. And with them having a Musiala injured, because for me I believe the best player at Bayern Munich is Musiala. That is it. You cannot come and convince me that Musiala is known the best player at Bayern Munich. One will say Olise, Harry Kane, name it, but he's one of the best players we have in the world, the best central attacking midfielders we have in the world. That is Musiala. And I think they'll struggle to obviously do the needful and really knock out Arsenal, because Arsenal is going to have to strengthen a lot, you know. Leave alone those times where Arsenal went ahead to obviously be knocked out at the quarterfinals, you know, by Bayern Munich, home and away basis. This time round, I think Arsenal really has an edge over Bayern Munich. You understand? Because of their squad, the players they've gone ahead to bring in through, and what it means for them to obviously continue winning. Because Arsenal is really very much interested in obviously going up to the semi-finals or finals of the Champions League, as that has gone ahead to help them really fight a very huge battle into their summer transfer window by signing in close to 7 players, and they're still looking in for an 8th one, courtesy of the huge money they went ahead to make in the Champions League, known to the Premier League. Because all along, Arsenal has gone ahead to finish second in the Premier League, and they've not gone ahead to sign in 7 players in a summer transfer window. But when they reached the semi-finals of the Champions League and they bagged in some huge amount of money, Arsenal were like, all right, we can do this. Meaning that they know to it that if they reach the milestone of really getting knocked out of the UEFA Champions League semi-final, or even playing the final, win it or lose it, they'll obviously be in high income levels to obviously strengthen their squad. Inter Milan, when Arsenal played against Inter Milan last time, you know what happened? Arsenal was beaten by 1-0, and in that game, Arsenal had 20 shots at goal of Inter Milan, but they failed to obviously register a goal. And remember, it was a penalty. I think it was caused by Thomas Partey, and it was barred in the back of the net by Lautaro Martinez. Or is he? I think it was Lautaro Martinez to score that penalty, and it's the only game that Arsenal went ahead to lose in the group stages. Now, these first 3 games are really going to be hard. Bayern, Inter, and Atletico Madrid. But what makes them easy is that Arsenal is obviously going to be playing them at the Emirates. If Arsenal was going to be playing Bayern Munich and Atletico Madrid away, those would have gone ahead to be the hardest group games of Arsenal. But I think the hardest is going to be Inter Milan, you know. But Club Brugge away, easy game. Olympiacos home, easy game. Slavia Praha away, easy game. Karyet Almaty at home, just an easy game. Athletic Bilbao away, I think it's an easy game for the club of Arsenal. So Arsenal is going to be playing in Spain twice this season. So we wait and see how that pans out. But those are the draws for the club of Arsenal. And now we bring you the dates, because the dates are really very, 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 very important when Arsenal is obviously going to be tussling it out with these particular teams. Obviously, as Arsenal takes on Bayern Munich, right, it will be played on the 16th, 16th, between 16th to 18th, Then we talk about match day 2 between 30th to 1st October. Match day 3, October 21st to October 22nd. Match day 4, November 4th to 5th. Then November 25th, 26th. That is another match day. Match day 6, December 9th to 10th. And January 20th to January 21st. Then the last game of the group stages will be played on January 28th. That is it for the club of Arsenal. So you now know what your fate is. And there is an announcement that is going to have to be made that the Champions League will no longer be played. The Champions League finale will no longer be played at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. European time. It will be played at 6 p.m. That announcement has been made by UEFA. And it's going to be played on a Saturday. That is the side of Arsenal in there for you to know. So if Arsenal happen to play into the finale of the UEFA Champions League, it will be played at 6 p.m., not 9 p.m. And remember, they went ahead, obviously, introduced what we call the halftime. For those that really enjoy music, the halftime was really introduced. So that's my reaction of the Arsenal Champions League draw. And I'm calling in for your reactions into the comment section below about it. We sign out for now. See you later. And we are returning with the live stream. Hankapi to Arsenal is what we're obviously going to be discussing. But even other teams like Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea, and a side known as Man City, I'm obviously going to be doing particular videos for these special teams in here. We out.